Gentlemen, all rise for the RankKing's court.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another wonderful episode of the RankKing's Court. We're here, boys. I love it. It's another Tuesday, 6:30 on the dot, maybe 6:31, but time is irrelevant, so it does not matter. Core's here, always. I'm really enjoying
What is that?
it, actually. So I know, right? So I picked up at a, I don't want to say brew house, a distributor.
There you go. Proper
Proper
termination.
term.
Yes.
I walked in and I said, "Do you have any Coors seltzers available?"
Of
And they
course you
pointed
did.
to us. I literally but I walk in and he points immediately to these, which are not Coors seltzers, but he did have mango and grapefruit Coors seltzers left. So I grabbed whatever I could of those that were left. There were about 4 or 5 each, and that was it.
You're gonna be like stockpiling them in your basement or something as
I
a.
need to. Like, it is my generational toilet paper, I guess you could say. I stockpile that shit on the
Should have went
daily.
to Speedway. That's where I found them.
You know what? There is a Speedway close to me, though, so I might have to do that. But these Coors Pure Light Beer, they got no sugar in them, and they got citrus. Some citrus, almost like a lime, a little bit. So I actually kind of enjoy them a lot. I was afraid, that they wouldn't live up to the original Coors, but they're as cold as the Rocky Mountains, even if they got a little green in them. So I'm telling you what, these are to die for. Please go get them if they are still available, because there was only 1 pack of them at the distributor where I went. So
There you go.
Look at you being healthy. I appreciate it, Austin. That's good for you.
you know what the old saying is: if something is healthy for you, that means in a retrospective, it has something that is unhealthy for you. So we'll just go along with that.
I don't
beer.
know if that's a thing, but okay.
We'll just
It
go
is
with
beer.
it.
Yeah.
It is beer. Trying something new tonight, if you haven't known. I got both free hands tonight. So
Are you trying to
the
pantomime or something? Like, try to do that again. It's like some Jabberwocky
I'm
stuff
like
right there.
I'm like a Mr. Mime, but without the Pokemon, just like a mime.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm kind of doing this shit.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm trying this out. So if you in the comments have a hard time hearing, please let me know. I will turn up the mic.
Or
even if
pick it up.
means-
Yeah.
Or
That's
nuts.
why you have hands.
Yeah.
But well, I also have hands, so I can do this. So
Oh,
Oh!
wow. No way.
Wow.
fucking magic right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But yes, another RankKing's Court with us tonight. Oracle Vo and Noble Knight Greg with me as always. Let's dive into a little bit of last episode, so to speak. And before we even do that, where are we located, boys? We already mentioned that, Coors sponsor, gotta love them, always drinking it. But where are we located tonight?
Well, first of all, you are located at your humble abode at a undisclosed location for the record. So let's
At your
make sure
palace.
at your
Your
palatial
secret
estate,
palace.
palatial estate with a moat surrounding
Shout
it with
out
gators.
to Denny for the bits.
Yeah, but Vo and I and the rest of RankKing's Court is live today from the Unit Fitness Studios, located on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Unit Fitness is more than a traditional gym. It's a place where you can transform yourself inside and out with a variety of classes based around fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. At Unit Fitness, they believe that it is their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Unit Fitness the community that it is. Go to unitfitness.com today to sign up for a consultation through Union. There is strength.
Gotta love that. We'll start off also. One random person you were just gifted a sub. I'm hoping you boys are still subscribed to the channel.
Oh,
Otherwise,
wow.
this is gonna be hella awkward. I've been doing this a lot recently.
To be
I've been
fair,
trying-
this happened to you previously too, where
Yeah,
you
you
got
can't-
gifted a
you
subs.
can't
Yeah, so
judge.
I'm not. I wouldn't be
One
calling
time.
us. I wouldn't be calling us out if that's the case either.
but it was to. I'm not sure if I know how to pronounce that.
Atreus-
Atreus 90.
Atreus 95.
Atreus 95.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations,
you
bud. You
are
got
now
a tier 1
currently-
sub.
So now that that is all taken care of, let's dive into a little bit of what we talked about in last week's episode. We had my brother on to discuss all things Nintendo, which I thought was a pretty good episode, to say the least.
And also, big news for everyone. You actually won a poll.
Yeah.
I was about
you
to
actually
say
did
if I
win this
wanted or
one.
not.
You actually won a poll. It's mind-blowing, but in fairness, Ian had some goofy shit on his top 10. Let's be clear about that. That I'm not surprised that you won the poll.
Yeah, it was a close
Well,
one though. It was. I think it was 9-7 in votes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the
So-
2-point ratio and call that a win.
But did
And
you vote for yourself?
I did not.
Okay.
Wow.
See, that's
I
why we don't
abstained.
tell you this anymore.
I have abstained
Yeah.
from all of doing that. So you know, it
Some
was
of-
the one-
Some
the
of us
one
didn't
time.
abstain.
I voted.
I don't
Wait,
have
what?
I don't have
I
IG,
voted
so
for
I
Ian.
don't have IG, so I don't count.
It happens.
Ian had GoldenEye higher, so I had to vote for him.
Didn't help your cause, I guess.
No, I
Mhm.
guess
But-
not.
From what we are going into with this, I loved the whole aspect of everything that was Nintendo growing up. It was amazing. It was just like the kind of like generational console to have before PS, like anything PlayStation or Xbox dropped or anything of that sort. And it was just wonderful. And also this makes it not once but now twice that I have beaten my brother in a ranking contest. So
Look at this fucker, like
you
loving to
would
like.
remember that.
Look at this
You're not
fucker,
gonna
like
forget
trying to
about that.
gloat
I'm
about the
on-
fact that he gets to beat his family members in something.
Yeah,
Like,
you
like,
should
what
let
the
him
hell?
win. He's your little brother.
Yeah.
gotta go where it goes, gentlemen. If you're not going that, then I don't know what you're doing. But let's break into tonight's topic, which is going to be a very eye-opening experience for you two, because I know that you two have not seen this yet. Shame on you both.
Well, I try to go against the grain in what's popular, so that's why I haven't watched.
I just haven't watched it yet. I
Yeah.
want to watch it. I'll get there.
Yeah, I'm counter popularity.
At this point,
Ah,
Bo, do you
we
just,
know. We know.
Mm-hmm.
do you just need a job outside, Bo? Like, honestly, because it seems to where you're spending most of your time. Like, it's
No, that was when I
This
was a
is-
kid.
oh, you're still spending time outside.
Yeah,
you're-
sometimes.
Well, I mean,
I need a projector to play Netflix on
Yeah.
outside.
Hey, you laugh at that, but projectors outside in a camping scenario.
doesn't
that's a
that
good shit.
doesn't that go against the whole thing about wanting to be outside when you're bringing modern technology involved with it, or no?
I
Not
wouldn't
if you're
necessarily
outside.
call
Well, that's
I
true.
wouldn't necessarily call projectors modern technology.
I
but
mean, have you seen some projectors? They're pretty badass when you see all the stuff they could do.
The little overhead projector that they used to wheel in school.
Oh yeah.
that's
you
what
get
I'm
so
gonna say. That's
excited.
the one. That's the one that I remember that I had to. It was all like marker notes that
Yeah.
I had to take down.
Or
with my
had
hand.
or they had like a strap around it to make sure it didn't fall off at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
But yes, tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is Squid Game. Probably, I would even say a Netflix show that argues Tiger King itself.
I'm more of a calamari guy for the record, but that's just me.
You know, it's very true. But
Yeah.
You had that ready to go.
I did. Yeah.
You definitely did.
hmm
Squid Game is a Korean TV show that was brought into Netflix, and it is just wonderful. Everything about it. The backstory of this goes along as this: people in financial trouble, and I mean like millions of dollars in debt, are given an opportunity to compete in a tournament style of games, most likely children's games or games that they kind of remembered from their youth.
Okay.
The catch of this, however, is that once you sign on the dotted line and you participate in these games, you are eliminated by death.
Oh,
Okay then.
that's a big like contract there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
don't-
I don't know if I would do it if I was only $5 short on something, but maybe I would consider
Yeah,
it
like,
depending on how hungry
How
I
big
am.
of a debt are we talking here?
I'm talking the prize being now. This is weird because I have tried to crunch the numbers with this with Korean currency next to United States currency, but the prize money is $46 billion.
What?
Yes,
And is
Again.
that for one person, or is that like
it is to whoever
whoever survives all the
finishes-
games?
survives all the games. It
Okay.
is 6 games in 6 days. It
Wha-
is very, very nuts to say the least. I mean, these are people that could. I mean, I could see honestly Denny participating in this, being a degenerate gambler that he is. But these are a lot of people that come from all sorts of financial situations. A guy that literally just bets on horses the whole time, next to a guy that crossed the Korean mob and now owes them money, to individuals that literally just spend willingly and not unhear the consequences.
So how many
All of
how many players?
456.
Is there a specific reason for that number, or is it just
No.
never given? Okay.
No, there are just 456 participants, which I tried to crunch the numbers with it. Maybe that is why it was 46 billion, because it would be $1 billion per person. But again, I was off financially, which I'm just going with the fact that money is real in this situation. And whenever someone dies in this game, what they do is they have a rest room, like essentially like just an area where the contestants eat, sleep, and just hang out until the games start. There is a giant ass piggy bank that is hanging above. You laugh, but let me get into this.
Okay.
It is a giant ass piggy bank, and every time someone dies in the show, that person's worth of money gets added to the piggy bank.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I saw it in the trailer. I didn't know that was a piggy bank though.
It is a piggy bank, which I find hilarious.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
So how many episodes is this show so far?
If I remember correctly, I think there are 9. There
Okay.
could be more, there could be less. But
There's 9.
each one varies from like an hour to like there's one that was 30 minutes. So it keeps you on your toes at least with just how weird and how wonderfully centered all of this information is.
Mhm.
So in order to explain this a little bit more to you guys, we're going to get into the first radical ranking of the evening. Alrighty. So the first radical ranking of the evening is really a pretty simple one. The top reasons people love Squid Game, because it is all over social media. Social media has come out with different news anchors and saying that now kids are copying. Let's say
Copying the
copying.
games.
Yeah, copying the games.
God damn it!
Oh, that's
God
not
damn it!
good.
This is like the milk crate challenge all over
But-
again.
Listen to me, because it's not. They might think it's a bad scenario, but like they're just copying the actual games themselves. They're not going into like the gory details of what
You
happens. But
you
the
don't
weird,
know that.
Yeah.
Might be an underground.
Yeah, that's very, very
Child's games.
possible.
maybe.
Yeah.
But the aspect of this is simple. Is that a lot of these games were games very simple in childhood. So it's bringing the idea of bringing these games back to get kids more energized with more just physical activity, which is a plus. But now it's just like you just have to cut all the murder and gory shit out.
Yeah, as
Are
long
you-
as they're not doing that.
Are
it's
you
fine.
telling me that this show was essentially made as a way to get kids to exercise and go outside more?
Hell no. But that's the result that happened. So
Uh,
let's start off very
before-
simply with our number 5,
we'll
deadly
go
game
after.
trope redone.
Okay.
Yeah, I
the
don't know what this one
aspect-
is.
Well, the aspect of this is quite simple. Going back to the most dangerous game of hunting people for sport. And we see that nowadays that it's brought up in different styles of movies. We saw it with movies like The Purge, where essentially it was a holiday activity sense where people just let all their aggressions out into one night until they decided to make a movie where people were just like, that one night? Fuck it. We're not going to do that. It's called The Forever Purge. Fucking stupid. You had your great. It's dumb.
You're expanding on an idea, bud. That's all it is.
They should have just ended the franchise. But another one comes to mind from a recent one called The Hunt, in which people of higher financial means captured people and hunted them. So now we have a scenario where we throw in all these different people in a sense of competing in these games, and the aspect of it, which they don't let them know that when they are eliminated, they die. They don't know that. Otherwise, people would have quit, which, spoiler alert, after the first game, they all take a vote, and the majority rule is that they go home. So we'll get into that when we get into our next one. But it starts off with simply this guy that stands, this could be multiple people, I don't know, but they only show the one guy that challenges someone to a game. And the game is very simple. They have two, I want to say, buff envelopes. And the goal is that when someone throws one of these down, the other person's goal is to throw it down and flip their envelope. And if they do, they win $10,000. And if they don't, they get slapped across the face. Listen, I know, right?
That's not too bad.
But when you go into essentially desperation in which people have, or just people that are just trying to know that that they just don't like losing, they'll continue to do it. And when this is finally accomplished, they receive a card. The card has 3 shapes: circle, square, and triangle. I don't know if that's the order, but that's the shapes that go on. And they have a number on the back of it that says to call and ask if they would want to participate. They either say yes or they decline. When they say yes, they tell them to meet at the spot. They get into a limousine, and the limousine is filled with kind of a knockout gas that completely knocks them out entirely, and they are taken to the location, stripped, and put on a new uniform. So then they start to compete in these games. I don't want to get into very much detail right now because I kind of want to build it, but
build anticipation, bud. I like it.
Exactly. And all this makes for the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful cocktail of just violence and utter craziness that goes along with such a blessed concept.
I wonder if that cocktail was shaken or stirred.
You know what? I would ask James Bond. He normally likes them shaken, not stirred.
Makes sense.
But lastly, we talked about Golden 007 last week. This week, we're on Squid Game. We'll move on to number 4, the realism of financial trouble.
Before we talk about this one, did you see Denny's comment?
I did not.
He said, "Austin, let me play you in Squid Game. Pick offense or defense."
I wish I would. We'll consider that, Denny. We might consider that for an actual video. I would be loving to do one of these Squid Games for a TikTok video or something that we could do to promote the channel. I think that'd be wonderful.
Be a good idea.
So, holding off for now. I will largely consider it. But our number 4, financial trouble, is a very, very big thing in this movie. They have a multitude of characters that are coming in with just financial issues, being in Korea and everything that's going on. They have a guy that literally, the main character, who is not very, he's just a shitty dad. Let's just say that. He's a shitty, shitty dad. He gets money from his mother to go buy his daughter a birthday present. And number 1, he doesn't know his PIN code, and it happens to know that his PIN code is his daughter's birthday.
Oh, that's not a good look.
Wow.
No. So he finally gets the money, and what does he do with it? He goes and bets on horses.
Ah.
and loses it. So in order to buy his daughter a present, he goes to a crane machine and is able to finally, with the help of a kid, get the prize and drop it and finally get it to her. He doesn't look what's inside, which I think is fucking hilarious. And what ends up being inside, I will say this looks like a gun. It is, yeah, we don't know, but it's actually just a lighter. You like pull the trigger and it lights like a smoke. But
Okay.
you have to imagine the shock that she's 10 years old. 10 years old, opens up this box and it's a gun. I was like, what the hell is going on here, man? Like, fucking shit. But he's in financial trouble. You have another individual who was a student at, I want to say, a USN or something of that. But it's very, very high in regards of education. And we find out that he's no longer in it. And he is in a multitude of debt. And like I said, there is another character involved with this, one that has a brain tumor and needs the money in order to supply for his treatment. There is another player that owes money because he crossed his mobster boss, and now the entire underworld of Korea is trying to kill him. There is a lot that goes into this. And like I said, after they play the first game and they realize that if you are eliminated, you're actually really eliminated by death. They take a vote, and they all, majority, so about 51%, actually it came down to that. It came down to the last vote of they can either continue to play or they can end the games right now and go home with nothing. And they do that. The problem is nothing changes in their lives. They're still shitty. And because of financial desperation, cards are sent out again, and they all go back and play again.
Literally everyone?
Everyone that was alive.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So this is a huge thing because it shows just how dangerous addiction is, of just, number one, of just trying to survive, because there are people just on the streets that are participating. You have individuals that literally will be killed if they don't get this money. So a lot of this comes into play of how just diabolical this show can be, man. It's very, very wonderful. Let me get to my number 3, because I think it's one of my personal favorites and why I was drawn to the show originally. Number 3, the aesthetics.
Okay, the picture that Vo has up, this looks like something that I would see on like a Saturday morning like variety show for kids.
Right?
Yeah.
The colors, the costumes, when they take them to play in certain areas, it's all bright and lively and just fucking brilliant. I mean, if you had ADHD, you are glued to this shit immediately.
I don't
Like, it
know
is just,
if I have it.
I like to think
You gotta watch and find out. That's how you find out.
Oh, shit. All right.
But interestingly enough, the people that are holding these games, they are in what would appear to be pink suits, kind of like what you would see cross between like a jumpsuit and like a suit if you were like trying to avoid radioactivity.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a primarily term for it. And they have masks, each with a shape on it. Now, I didn't know this originally until I was about like maybe an episode or two down, but these shapes rank in order of higher status. So you have the circles, which are essentially kind of like your grunt workers, these squares, which are the next higher up, and then the triangle, which are kind of like the leaders, all headed by what is known as the front man, who is in a black again, jumpsuit, radioactive kind of thing, with a more interesting, like, differently facially designed mask, almost like a Korean character. I don't know, like, what it would be from, like, just how wonderfully done it is. But then you also, when you go later into these episodes, you find out that there are higher society individuals that love these games and love watching people participate in them. Kind of like your what we would talk about with like just The Hunt or The Purge or anything like that. There's always a higher society that loves watching this kind of twisted shit, and they literally all have front row seats that they're golden masks of different animals, kind of like a survival of the fittest kind of thing. It's just so fucking brilliant, man. Like, all of this shit is just wonderful, and the aesthetics alone, the color, the shapes, everything that goes along with it, even the scenery in a lot of these things, like you said with the steps. At first when I watched it, I was wondering, that's quite well done. Who the hell is paying for all this? And then I realized that they have fucking $46 billion that they're just throwing in a giant piggy bank. So money see, money do, I guess. Aesthetics at number 3.
With the shapes, is that how they determine the teams too? Like in some games, or how's that work?
Not exactly though, but I do love that creative outlook of it. We'll get into that later. I will answer your question, so
Okay.
I promise you.
I'll be waiting.
Yeah, he has it written down.
I would hope you would. Number 2, character development. Holy shit. Does this show amplify these certain main and side characters that are in this show? Holy fuck. It is so good. You have these individuals that started off as very shitty people that are learning that we all need to work together. There's something in this that's going on. And then you have people that are very, very, like, dead set on being confused and trying to win, that will eventually down the road do literally everything in their power necessary to survive. And wow, it is groundbreaking, to say the least. My favorite, which the number is up here, is I hated him in the show. I hated watching him, but everything about that he was doing was fucking brilliant. And that is number 218, the student that was kicked out of the university. He's one of the most dastardly individuals in this whole fucking show. And at first he's not even like a villain, but because of desperation, because of how much money he's in, and because he's come so far, he'll fucking do anything to survive. And I won't like go into much detail on it because I know you guys still need to watch it, and I don't want to be the one to spoil it for you.
Yeah, please don't. Please
No.
don't.
We don't enjoy spoilers here on this show.
That's why we say spoiler alert.
That's
so.
true. You do a countdown even to prove
It's
it.
true.
So, but yes, whether one way or another, these characters are developed very, very well and very, very to the point of this show. We finally get into our number 1, which will actually lead us into radical ranking number 2. Number 1, the games themselves. Just watching how this shit is done and how people are eliminated. The first time I saw it, I said, holy shit. This is a thing. They're doing this. This looks masterful. It's very simple. It's to the point. It's literally in the contracts that they all signed, and none of them read it. Like, none of them at all. That's, again, going to financial desperation and measures.
They'll just do anything.
You don't know what you're doing, but if it involves money, you will gladly do it. And wow, all of these games that are presented are just amazing. And I know you guys are staring at the picture like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is this?
I'm curious what the hell. Why is there like a doll on our screen right now?
Well, I won't waste too much time. Let's get into the second radical ranking right now. All right, guys. So in this, we are going to go through the top 5 games.
Oh, this should be a good one.
There are 6 games, but
Boy, this was easy to narrow down.
you would think.
Wait. I noticed on the Instagram ranking, or the Nintendo one, someone suggested Donkey Kong, or no, it was your top 10, and you're like, that would be number 11.
Yeah.
I just like to say I love when you do that. That cracks me up every time I see that.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh
Well,
yeah,
man.
yeah, that would have been on the list. Yeah,
It's not like I'm lying.
true.
So, so these games are very simple. Some are very difficult, but it all ranges from different notions that kind of give us an aspect of childhood. Like, we played these games a lot in childhood. There's one in particular that I had honestly never even heard of before this, and it turns out to be one of the more like what am I trying to say? One of the more anxiety-driven games of the entire show. So I will gladly get in and start with our number 5, Tug of War.
That looks insane.
I'm gonna go on a limb here and guess that whoever loses, they end up getting dropped into something, huh?
So what ends
That's
up
what it looks
happening?
like, yeah.
So
Good
what ends up
observation.
happening? So what ends up happening in this game is that players are advised to form a team. Doesn't matter who's on the team, just as long as they form a team of, I want to believe, how many individuals are on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That came from 2, 4, 6. Oh yeah, so 9 people. So a team of 9, and essentially you are dragging your opponents until, originally I thought it was until there's a little pink flag in the middle of the rope. And I thought it was originally that the flag was, if it went over the line, that they would lose. But no, they actually drag. You have to tug until the entire team falls off the ledge. And what ends up happening is, oh yeah, I mean, it's a giant rope, we're safe. The rope is cut. The rope is cut when that shit happens, and they fall to their deaths. All of this is like, it's so simple, but it is literally, I learned an aspect of Tug of War in this game that I had never known before, and it's the team that's made up essentially of the majority of the main characters that are in this show. And you, a lot of people normally would just pull all one way, but no. One person rotates each side, and they all stand straight so that their back is like pulling up to the sky. Apparently, that is supposed to give you more leverage in the pull, and I never even knew that. I honestly could have won Greek games with this shit if I knew now. Like, it's very, very interesting because the main team is not made up of your muscle-bound characters. They have 3 females on their team and 1 old guy, and they end up, doing very well in this game. So it's very, very interesting to see a different dynamic given to a simple game of Tug of War.
Yeah, and Foreigner just joined the chat.
Oh, welcome, Foreigner. Always loving to have you.
Hope you like Squid Games, because that's what we're talking about.
So I want to point out that SNL did a fucking hilarious parody of this, and it is wonderful. They had Pete Davidson and Rami Malek from Mr. Robot, and they originally start singing off like a country song, and it's like, well, guess I gotta go play the Squid Game, and they all just, it's just them in the fuck. I loved it. It was hilarious. Number 4.
Hold on. Foreigners comment said Austin found out how to play Tug of War after watching a show that came out in 2021 with a laughing face.
Yeah.
Listen, all right. I'm not
Took you this long.
I'm not the biggest muscle-bound guy around, so like I let the other guys in my fraternity that did Greek games that were a little bit more like statured to do that. So I kind of watch from the side on that one. So
I don't know, bud. You seem like you got a nice center of gravity to work with.
I don't know about that.
He's the king. He has everybody else do it.
Yeah.
Number 4 is actually the main title of this entire selection. Number 4 is Squid Game. This is a game that literally blew me away because, like I said, I had no idea this was even a thing. But essentially, you start in it's funny how also these shapes are the ones that make up the different
Yeah, I was gonna
designs
say
of
that, yeah.
characters and everything. But one player starts from the one circle, and the other player starts in the triangle. And essentially, what happens is that you have to make your way along the angles of the triangle around the square, get back in the circle, like the other circle at the end, and then I loved how crazy this was, but there's no rules after that. All you're trying to do is just make it to the end and go to the original circle that you're in. You can literally, I've seen like how many renditions of it today. There's people like literally punching people. Like it is barbaric to say the least. Like this is kind of like your duel to the death scenario when it comes to this game. It's just very fucking great. I loved every aspect of it, and that's why it's my number 4. So,
And this is the one you and Denny are gonna play.
yeah. So, beef up, Denny, because I do play dirty.
I
Number
believe
3,
that.
Go for the kneecap.
just throw dirt in his eyes or some shit. That's what I would do. Number 3, when I was talking about the most anxiety-driven of the entire show, this is it. Simply titled Honeycomb.
Huh. Okay.
Honeycomb, it starts off with the players simply having to choose a shape on the screen. They have circle, triangle, star, and umbrella. And once you pick that shape, you are given a tin. You open up the tin, and it is a honeycomb cookie with the shape in the middle.
Okay.
Now comes the anxiety part, because you have 10 minutes using what appears to be like a pin or whatever kind of nail. You have to cut out the shape without breaking the shape.
Oh my god.
I would fail at this one.
In 10 minutes.
You don't have a steady hand, so I could tell.
I can't even cut paper.
No, I've seen it. Not good.
So the ruling is that, if you break off one of the outside pieces, you're fine. But if it's the part of the main shape, you're automatically eliminated. It's very crazy to the point where for the people that choose umbrella,
They're fucked.
you're essentially fucked. The easiest shape by far in this, what appears to be, is a triangle, because all you have to do is just do that. But yeah, this was incredibly, because while they are doing this, like if a player like breaks theirs, they're immediately killed on sight while the others are working. So it adds to that level of anxiety driven. Fuck, I gotta do this now, but I also have to take my time.
What if you're like cutting it and you like put it back together real quick without anyone seeing?
Well,
you cheat the system.
Well, that's the thing, Bo, is that it's a hard cookie, so it doesn't stick.
No, you make it stick. You spit on the cookie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
400 wants thoughts on the bench. Squid Games. Could happen.
Might as well. We're waiting on a thoughts from the bench Survivor thing as well, so we might as well
add it to the list.
Yeah, just add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
But yeah, this was nuts, to say the least. This game made me not want to ever, it made me want to stay. You know how you're like coloring in the lines of like a picture? This made me want to like stay in the colored lines of the picture. Like it's a fucking anxiety-driven thing. Even if I'm cutting some out today, I know to like, all right, well, we don't want to fucking like get that out because we're gonna, fucking die. So it is. Oh shit! It just even talking about it now, it like brings up so much fucking like when I like watched it. Number 2, Glass Bridge. Fuck this game.
Huh.
This was terrifying. So the game is very, very simple. You just have to make it to the end of the platform. But here's the thing. One of the glass pieces on each side will hold you. The other one will not.
Oh,
And you have no
what?
idea which one.
Nope. And they essentially gave them the option to choose their numbers for this game. So, God forbid if you're going fucking first, because this is awful. You, like I said, you are not able to tell which glass will hold, because one glass plate will hold 2 people. The other one will not hold 1 person. So, God forbid if you're first, or any of like the beginning numbers, because then as soon as like one falls through, the next person has to go along, and if you don't cross the platform, you're eliminated. If you fall through one of the platforms, you are eliminated. And you house like the time frame is, I think, very, 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 very quick as well in this one. I want to say it's 10 to 15 minutes. So your decisions have to be quick in this one, and there's a lot of like tomfoolery that goes along in not only this game but other games that the head honchos really like don't necessarily care about, because it's not cheating the game, it's preventing, you know, a person from, you know, doing well, but also does well for you. So yeah, fuck this one. This was nuts. I hated watching this because, again, this whole show was just built on anxiety and just overall contemplation. Let's go to our final game, the one that is all over social media today. Red light, green light.
So there's that doll again.
Oh my god.
I actually did see a clip of this one, so I know what this one's like.
So the robot doll starts like kind of singing this song, and you are to move, obviously, when it starts singing. But then the doll will scream red light and turn its head all the way around, and you have to stay still. If you move, you know, this was like the first kind of, you know, again, spoiler alert, this was the first game that they participated in.
Oh, okay.
So very, very quickly they realized when the first contestant did not stop moving, that person was shot from a sniper.
Oh, it wasn't the doll? I thought the doll was... Oh, okay.
No. There are different panels on the like on the outer parts of the wall on the higher end.
Okay.
And they are filled with snipers. If you move, you're fucked. And again, people didn't realize this when it happened, so when they saw a person die, it turned into a bloodbath very, very quickly. When people just realized how this is real, this is death. People just started fucking running for the hills, and I tell you what, man, I was like, all you have to do is just stop fucking moving. That's all you have to fucking do. But it is very, it's difficult, because once again, they give you a time of 10 minutes, and you have to cross the line at the end where the doll is. If you don't make it, again, you are eliminated.
And she has like sensors too, so she can like zoom in on who's moving and everything.
Her eyes, it grossed me out originally, but they like go all over the place, kind of like just trying to sense people's movements. But yeah, this was very, very bloody and righteous, to say the least. Opening for our first game and our first place in the top 5 games of Squid Games. Oh, are you guys interested in this yet? Because this is like...
I definitely want to watch this. What about you?
I'm intrigued.
Intrigued.
I'm intrigued, yes. I don't know if I'll watch it, but I am intrigued.
I'm trying to like give you guys just as much without spoiling a lot for you.
I appreciate that.
So
don't tell me who wins. You can. Just don't tell me who wins.
All right. Let's go to our great debate, boys.
Get right into it.
Get right into it.
All right, boys. The great debate is actually pretty simple. Which of these games would you excel at? Just so you know, the sixth game that I will mention for you, which I didn't think it would deserve to be on the list of just the top 5, but the sixth game involves marbles, and the contestants are paired with somebody else, and all they have to do is challenge somebody to a random game involving marbles. And the goal of that game is that you are to have all of the marbles at the end of yours and your opponent's. Once you have all the marbles, your opponent is eliminated. So you could go a multitude of ways in that one. So I thought that, like, that's kind of like weird if I put that in there, because that's kind of like anything that could happen at that point. So let's do this. Foreigner, if you're in the chat.
He already
got it.
Already got
God,
it.
I fucking love you, man. Always on point.
Goes me,
So-
Austin, Greg.
All right. So, Vo, you finally go first
This
in one.
Yeah. I can tell you which one I definitely wouldn't excel at.
That wouldn't be as much fun then.
Yeah.
So, which of the 6 games would you excel at?
I'm going to take the easy way and go tug of war and pick the strongest team. Plus, you just taught me how to play tug of war. So it's pretty simple now. Like, I don't think I'll ever lose tug of war now.
No.
Got you. Very, very simple. All right. I'm going to go in the non-conventional route, and I'm going to go with the marble game just because there's a multitude of ways of games that I believe that I could play. There's one variation where people kind of dig a hole in the center because they're in like a gravel area. And one of the games that they come up with is that they throw which of their marbles comes closest to the hole. So you could do that.
Kind of like bocce ball type game.
Exactly. There's one where it's simply odds or evens, and you place a number of marbles in your hands, and the other person guesses odd or evens. If it's odd and they picked odd, they take one of your marbles. So there's a lot of variation that I think could go into this that I would believe I would be able to kind of slide my way out without having to do very much effort. I would say some of these other ones, but I am jittery as a motherfucker, so I know I wouldn't do well in red light, green light, or in the
honeycomb.
Honeycomb.
The honeycomb was the one I couldn't do. I wouldn't be able to do that.
And you know, I'm not terrified of a lot of things. I do have a slight fear of heights, just for I think it's more like exhilaration, like just adrenaline rather than fear. But if I knew if I stepped on one of these plates and I wasn't gonna go through it, I wouldn't fucking do it. So I'm gonna go the safe and easy route. I'm gonna pick the marble game.
Solid pick.
See, I'm gonna go the safe and easy route. I'm just gonna say honeycomb because I already know, like, if I pick umbrella, I'm fucked. So.
Yeah, you said they get to pick the shape they want to do.
Yeah, they are not given the game beforehand, but they are given the shapes, and they're just decided to choose the shape.
Austin, real quick in the chat, Foreigner redeemed 2,000 chips and is asking for an impression of Deke.
Oh. That's a toughie.
Choose your words carefully.
I know.
It's not like he's gonna see this. Don't worry.
Make
like
Greg
trying to
show
think of
how
an
steady his hands.
I'm like trying to think of like an exact moment.
Those
Like
are
an
pretty
exact
steady
thing that
hands.
he did.
Fuck you, Pink.
Jesus. Oh, I got one. Going back to our
Pretty
draft
steady.
day. Going back to our draft day.
Okay.
This is why I said check fucking Slack.
Keep going. Was there
That was
more?
it.
That was it. That was it.
That was it.
I-
the Esper thing.
I honestly thought Deke walked in on this.
Yeah, I did too.
Thought that was him.
I mean, they do kind of look like each other. I mean, they're related, so makes sense.
Yeah, could see it.
Mhm.
Deke just doesn't have the crown.
No, he does not.
No, he does not. Greg, you did say honeycomb though.
I said honeycomb. My hands are steady enough that I think I'd be able to pull it off. And all I know I don't pick the umbrella, and I'm good.
Is there a particular, I get it that I said triangle was the easiest, but if you didn't know what this game was, let's say that, and you had to choose one of the shapes, I probably already know you're not choosing umbrella, so which of the other 3 shapes would you have picked? Triangle, circle, or star?
Probably circle.
Star.
Circle, circle, dot, dot.
I got my cootie shots.
You're supposed to say the next one, god damn it. Anyway, yeah, I think that's good, boys. Like I said, I don't have like my hands jitter so much.
Let's
that
ask
I
the
know I
chat
wouldn't
what
be
they would play.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
Foreigner
what
and
game?
Ping, we know you're listening.
Yeah, what games would you guys excel at for Squid Game? I want answers to this because
we would even post it on Instagram even too as well as an option to ask what game would you excel at, do you think?
while they are doing this, I want to bring to light just how wonderful this series is. I always say when I watched it, Bree and I were on pins and needles watching this the whole time, twists and turns, and just how creative and how new this show is. And like I said, it's just wonderful to see like stuff that we thought of as kids being brought to life in a very life or death scenario. I mean, I know I'm a sick fuck, and that's why I find this amazing, but it's just great, man. I really hope because I will say it's even so popular that people are ordering Squid Game's costumes for Halloween.
I believe it, yeah.
I actually try to find one, and in like just a spirit Halloween, they don't have
You
anything.
didn't find any. You could probably make your own.
Oh yeah, it's just a green
Seems like
jumpsuit.
it's
It looks
easy.
like, yeah.
Foreigner said red light, green light, and Ping comes in with I'm going tug of war. So
I guess it would all depend on on who's your team for that one, or
yeah.
just strategy would go in. But yeah, I know how uncoordinated I am when I'm just walking. So if I have to run and stop and not move, I don't know if I would be the best at that. So might have gone out very early. But again, we'll put that on Instagram and socials and everything, and we'll see what the fans, what they would excel at for Squid Game. Right now, I'm going to crack another Coors, take a piss, and we are going to take a commercial break and be right back with our top 10 ranking of the evening. Stay tuned.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Vault, the weekly show from Thoughts from the Bench that takes a look back at some of the best and worst sports jerseys of all time.
So, I looked up what a Canuck was. Ben, you're gonna shit yourself. What a fucking silly country.
Here comes the Crimson Chin.
No. You sound like the John Candy in a fucking snapshot.
That's Uncle Buck.
I have an irrational fear of alligators and crocodiles. I hate them.
Wait, what? Of like, okay, this school who looks like they're in High School Musical just came and balled out. So yeah, they're not drinking Gatorade or water on the sidelines. They just got bottles of Barbicide and they're just fucking tanking them down, dude. Like that guy who's gone and said, "Okay, where's the keg at?" You know, like that type of guy.
Yeah.
Like
He's a glue guy. He's a glue guy.
Okay, he's a glue guy.
I want to show off the human goose that is Mike Glennon.
Oh my god, he is a goose!
They're like mom jeans with the elastic on top. Like, I don't...
I'm okay. I'm okay. He's a man of the people. He's in with the students at games and sporting events. He's posing with the frat boys. He's getting pumped up, literally and metaphorically speaking, for every event. He is Dartmouth.
What?
That was really funny.
Football's the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell.
JJ Watt, bring it on over,
apparatus.
pal. Bring it on over. Golgi apparatus, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum. I'm just naming off science shit now.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the RankKing's Court episode of Squid Game. It is now time for the top 10 ranking of the evening. This is a great one. I think there's a lot of creative outlooks I think I put into this for just how this would play, because our top 10 ranking of the evening is the top new games that I would want to see in Squid Game.
I'm terrified to see this because you have a mind that I would not want involved in something like this.
I will
feel like
admit it's nothing. There's nothing like too crazy that I remember.
Kept it like the same premise, almost
Yeah.
like children's games, but in a life or death scenario.
Yeah.
So, our number 10, a very simple one again, and one that I still love to do today. Number 10, dodgeball.
Oh my god.
It's a good one. What if you did Army Dodgeball?
Or Dr. Dodgeball, if you heard of that one.
I forget what Dr. Dodgeball was. Was that like if you got hit, someone had to come and like touch you or something like that?
Yeah, it's like there's one person designated as the doctor.
Oh, okay.
And anyone that gets hit, just goes down on a knee, and the doctor would go over and just touch them and then be back in. But if the doctor gets out, then that's it. Yeah, if you go down, you go down. Dodgeball would be interesting to see in a life or death scenario.
Yeah, 400 asked if the balls explode. That'd be, for type of show like this, I could see
I could see that as a thing, yeah.
I could see that, but also, like, with dodgeball, you're also trying to catch the ball. So
that's true. That might be an issue.
Catch it before it explodes.
Oh, shit. That'd be interesting.
Right? That's what we're talking about
again,
here.
I would say this would probably be, like, a 10-minute thing, and whoever would have the most people on their team at the end would win, or if the person or if the one team eliminates the entire team in total, that team is out. So it's very schoolyard kind of thing, but I didn't see enough of that in the show, and I think it needs a little bit of it. We'll go to number 9, an interesting one of that, one that I don't think I've played probably in like 10-15 years, Red Rover.
I don't remember if I played Red Rover.
Yeah,
actually.
this is one I really didn't play. I've heard of it, but wasn't one of our childhood ones.
Essentially, it's just 2 teams spread out. I don't know if it mattered how many people you have or not, but one person rushed over that they would choose, and Red Rover send Old Man Jenkins right over.
Old Man Jenkins.
Yeah, in his lobby. It really wouldn't matter. The goal was that you just can't let that person through your you hold hands and you can't let them through your arms. So the way that I would run this is that if one person didn't make the break, they would be eliminated. If one person would break through, that team would then decide who would be eliminated. And I would firmly believe it would be one of the 2 that broke the chain.
Yeah. So the chain would be the 2 different teams, right? It's not like it's the people running the games are doing it.
I would say, the people will still run the games, but I would say that the chain would decide that one. Would decide just who on their team would be eliminated. Honestly, it would probably just, like I said, it would excuse me, it'd probably be like one of the 2 people that's chain broke. Yeah. That they would be eliminated. But this is another like interesting one that I would love to see. Number 8. This is where it gets a little silly, but I would love to see Duck Duck Goose.
Oh my god.
It would be funny to watch.
Well, like what would it be? The people who are goose are the ones that end up getting.
So yeah, here's the thing that I would go about is that one person would choose somebody. Obviously, they would duck, goose, and they would run. And if that goose tagged that person, then that person is eliminated. Or if the goose did not get there in time, and the other person sits in that spot, then the goose is eliminated.
Wow.
Imagine playing Duck Duck Goose and not catching the dude, and you just see like some dude in a pink jumpsuit with like a 9mm just pop you. because you didn't get it. Like it's just it's
Maybe
it's
duck
fun.
hunting, goose hunting.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
So, yeah. Again, a little silly, but I would love it. Number 7, freeze tag.
That'd be interesting.
This picture though cracks me up.
I can't find any other pictures with it. Like,
Freeze
Freeze
tag would
tag
be
would be-
fun though.
A variation.
freeze tag would be-
I was gonna
Go
say a
ahead, Scott.
variation of that would also be release.
Yeah.
Release, I think, would be interesting on that one. But freeze tag would be interesting too, because I bet you it would be like if they're not if they're freeze tag, then they'd be easy to.
Well, here's what it would be: is that they would have a time frame, and whoever is frozen at the end of that time frame is the ones that are eliminated.
That's fair.
So I think that's a fair way to go about it, because if you do anything else, it kind of would seem like cheating, and that's one of the important things in this game is fairness. Everyone is treated equally for this, whether you die or not. So, freeze tag at number 7. 6, again, stupid ass picture, but I know I wouldn't do well in this one. 6, Simon Says.
It's kind of like the red light, green light
Yeah.
type of game.
But like, if someone did, like Simon Says, do something so crazy that you couldn't, like, I would assume that the rule would have to be that it would have to be plausible to do.
Yeah.
But again, you go into these situations where it could go like, touch your nose, and someone does it. I didn't say Simon Says. Like,
Wow.
it's
I could definitely see this one on there from what you've said about the show.
You have to pay fucking attention to this one.
Yeah.
And
Close attention.
no, being that I might have ADHD, I don't know if I would be good at it or not.
No.
so-
Yeah. I don't think that would work.
I
well.
just my hearing's bad sometimes, so I'd probably mess this one up too.
Mop. Mop. Mop.
It's from all the yelling outside.
Yeah.
Number 5, hide and seek.
That'd be interesting. I'm curious. So it would be like, if you're caught, then you would be, or if you're found, you would technically be
Yeah, would
executed,
the
or
people running the game be looking for you? Or
So
is
what
it
would happen?
teams?
No, I think that it would be that you're paired with somebody, and you have a time frame, and the one person counts down, and then when that person hits 0, then the game starts. And what ends up happening is that if you would find that individual will be eliminated. But if you don't find that individual in
you're
that certain
eliminated.
time frame, then you're eliminated. This would be kind of like one of the ones played at the beginning where there's a larger crowd, so that way that I don't want to say body count, but like the body count would be like virtually like taken down low a lot. But yeah, I think that would be a very interesting one again. Number 4, one that I played in Survivor that I enjoyed very, very much. Concentration.
I'd be dead.
You guys
I'd
know
be dead
what
on this one.
Yeah, you guys would have to know.
I don't know actually if I've seen. What is this actually?
Concentration, Greg, otherwise known as the matching game.
Is that like it's like old man?
Oh,
Like, you
okay.
try and match, flip them over.
Gotcha.
try and
Gotcha.
match
Okay.
them.
So you're paired with someone, all right? And you start off, and whoever has the most cards matched at the end wins. Can you imagine if you already know that you have like not a lot of cards? I mean, let's say you're tied,
Mhm.
and you get down to 3 cards. You're like, fuck, like I gotta get this, or it's over. So there's not a lot of like memory-based challenges, I think, that were in Squid Game, and I think this would add a huge element of just how wonderful this show would be. So I want to say also that I won this in Survivor, so I think I would be a shoo-in for
Surprised it's
victory.
not number 1 on this list then.
Well,
You
we're
you
not
can
there
actually
yet.
win this one.
We're you know very well I don't bias myself at the end.
No,
Come
not
on.
at all. Never,
Come on.
never happened.
Number 3, essentially based on chance. Rock, paper, scissors.
Now this would be fucked up.
It's down to
like-
2 people, and it comes down to this.
It's just, I saw a parody of this, and I thought it was wrong and hilarious. There's a 2 out of 3 thing. The one person, loses the first round, then they win the second round, and it goes to like, oh no, please, like I have kids, I have a life at home, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Here, you throw this. I'll tell you to throw this, and then you'll win. Thank you. And he tells her the move, and he picks the exact opposite, and he's like, fuck you, fuck your life, yeah. It's like, why would you fucking be stupid and think that person would, granted, if I was that person, I would have said the exact same thing and come out a victor. Like, right. I'm not doing that. But imagine just your life hanging in the balance of rock, paper, scissors. A game that is literally chance. That is a very two-faced thing, although with 3 options. And I love it so much.
Wow. It would be funny to see that, like, that's the last game that comes down to is rock, paper, scissors.
A lot of these I thought were going to be the games of Squid Game before I even went into it. But
yeah, we'll see how many of these are on season 2 when it comes out.
That'd be hilarious if some of these make it.
The
yeah,
same type of show.
I feel you. Number 2. I love this game. I would love to see if people's lives hang in the balance of it. Musical chairs.
Wow. This would suck. This would suck.
This could get violent.
Yeah.
400 want to know if it'd be best of 3, rock, paper, scissors.
It would. It would be best of 3. It's too easy to just go like, fuck, and like everything. They're like, yeah, it would be best of 3. This one is interesting because I've already seen people go to the edge in this game. I've seen a video where it came down to 2 people, a guy and a girl, and the girl was closest, and the guy literally just picked up the chair and moved it so she fell on her ass, and then he sat down in it. All of that shit would be legal. Like,
I believe it, yeah.
Can you imagine, like, people just picking up the chairs, hitting people with chairs?
Yeah, absolutely.
This would be bloody and brutal, and it should be a game for season 2, man. This would be crazy. Would you guys do one on this?
Probably not.
I'm not a violent person, so I probably.
Greg, your life's depending on it. Would you?
that changes things.
That does, yeah.
Your life is depending on it. Don't say that you're not a violent person. You will go to the lengths to survive here.
That's fair. I could make it. I'll make an effort. Yeah, I could.
Okay. All right. And finally, boys, if this one isn't in season 2, I'm gonna cry, because with the amount of money that this company or whatever has, you can damn well sure that this would work. Because number 1, floor is lava.
Have you watched this show at all?
Yeah, I have. I love it. That's pretty great.
Just
this is like the full obstacle course.
Yes.
So this would be a good one, I feel like.
My idea for this is very simple. You just have to be off the floor, because then the floor opens and it is an actual lava pit and you fall into lava. Again, $46 billion that they're putting in. They can afford to do this. And the reason I say that this would be great was because in certain situations, people tried to injure other competitors so that they wouldn't be able to reach or to win the game. So there's definitely a brawl happening in this game. And, then you get on whatever accessibility you're able to get on, because then it opens and then you're gone.
What if it was a game like this, but it was water, and then there was a giant man-eating squid that just killed the people?
That'd be crazy.
I
like the twist. Game. I like the twist, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say shark for a second.
No, squid.
No,
it's Squid Game.
You gotta stay on. You gotta stay on brand, man. Come on.
Come on, you know
this.
I
get it.
You know how it works.
But yeah, those were the top 10 games I would like to see in Squid Game Season 2. I am very, very curious. Now, a lot of these, there weren't too many games after this to like kind of pick through or whatever that I was trying to like think of in my head.
I could think of one.
I was gonna say
like capture the flag.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a
or
fun
just
one.
any of the sports.
Can I be
games,
on?
I guess.
Can I be honest? I have a lot of drinking games in my head that I feel like would be fun. Like flip cup would be fun. Beer pong would be fun. Kings would be fun. Like
We go back
do
to
that. 400 said kick the can too.
or
That'd be a good one.
another one I guess I could go off that would be like hacky sack
Yeah.
or something
that'd
like
be cool.
that.
Yeah.
Or just how many times you could like juggle a soccer ball. I mean, like all
Or run down bases,
exactly, like
whatever you want to call it.
All of these don't have to be actual games. They can just be activities that are turned into games. That's the beauty of it, man. It's just how great this is. We go back to when we did our food challenge episode. Another one that I had in mind was just who can eat the most.
Yeah, we don't have to relive that.
No, we don't.
I have nightmares about that.
It's what happens when you lose, man. Sorry.
No, nightmares of you just destroying all those chicken nuggets.
Which apparently Steph says that she could beat my time.
Might.
So that's.
I don't know if we need a part 2. So.
I think we might, Greg.
We might.
Oh,
If she
God.
challenges them, we have to do a part 2.
Coming
That's
for
how it
the
works.
throne.
It would have to say, but yes, that, ladies and gentlemen, is our episode on Squid Games. Hope you enjoyed it. I know that a lot of people that have watched the show, you understand this, and I very, very appreciate everything. Let us know what games that you would excel at in Squid Game that happened in season 1, and then let us know exactly what games you would like to see in the second season. Like what exactly in your twisted minds. Otherwise, why are you watching the show if your mind's not twisted? I've known that.
I
I've
mean,
accepted
how many
that.
episodes have been twisted of the
So
show?
yeah, so I haven't
Me
watched.
too.
So clearly that means my mind's not twisted. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, are you gonna watch this one?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
It doesn't sound good. Sound interesting?
It sounds interesting. I'm just too lazy. I don't have a Netflix login, so we'll see.
Greg,
I'll let you borrow
steered,
mine.
I have not steered you wrong away from a show or movie since this show began. Come on, Greg.
I don't really care for any of the. I'm not a horror person, so any of the horror movie
I
stuff
will
that you've
admit-
done, I
Aside
won't
from
do.
that, I knew you weren't gonna, but I got you.
I did. Me and Morgan got into Rick and Morty
Thank you.
because of you. So it does happen. I'm definitely gonna try this one, but you're missing the big point, isn't it? Like subtitled
Yes, but
in
it
the
is like
voiceover.
yes,
Like,
it's
I don't know.
English
Did you know
dub.
that?
Oh, it's a Korean show, right? Yeah. So I
Yeah.
kind of assumed.
Yeah, Korean, Korean actors, English dub.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
It's brilliant. I love this show. I've honestly thought about rewatching it. It's just so fucking
I mean, it's
good.
9 episodes. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I would say I want to say 9 is the correct term. At one point, I thought 6, but I would say it's definitely. I think it's between 9 and 11. So I would say between those numbers.
400's
But-
gonna be watching it.
Oh, he needs to.
He's going
Hmm.
to.
But yes, if you haven't watched the show, please watch it. I know I haven't spoiled anything for you, lovely viewers.
Yeah, that was
out
pretty
there.
good.
Yeah. Way
Thank you.
to
Thank
be
you for
smart
that.
about. Way to
Held
watch
back.
yourself, bud.
I'll report
back.
back to you once I finish the show.
There's a lot of things I watch. Weight Watchers isn't one of them, but it happens. So that's in tune to just fast food and a lot of Coors Light. People gotta love it. We are here every single week, Tuesdays at 6:30 on Twitch. 52nd episode now in the books. We love you all, and we wish you a very, very pleasant week. Tune in for us next week, because court is adjourned.
Court is adjourned.